Politicians like Bernie Sanders point to Denmark and Sweden as proof that socialism works. But that's a myth. These countries aren't socialist. Socialism means government owns businesses and factories. In the Nordics, private companies run almost everything. They're capitalist at the core, just with high taxes and a big safety net. The Nordic model is free market capitalism plus a generous welfare state. Citizens pay high taxes for healthcare, education, and unemployment benefits. But it's capitalism that funds it all. These countries rank high in economic freedom. Often above the US, they know you need to create wealth before you can share it. Business and competition are encouraged. Calling them socialist is a political trick. When American politicians say democratic socialism, they point to Sweden, but Swedes themselves reject that label. In the 1970s and 80s, Sweden tried more socialism. The result? Economic stagnation. So they cut regulations, privatized industries, and embraced the market. The wealth from capitalism pays for their public services. The real story, a vibrant private economy makes the welfare state possible. The Nordic model isn't a socialist success, it's a capitalist one. It's about wealth creation first, redistribution second. The free stuff comes from a system that values work and supports business. Don't be fooled by the bait and switch. The Nordic model is capitalism with a safety net, not socialism. Why does the Nordic model work in places like Denmark and Sweden? First, there's immense social trust. People trust each other and their government. This trust is built on centuries of shared culture and values. These are small, homogeneous countries. Denmark has fewer people than Wisconsin. Shared backgrounds make consensus and high taxes easier to accept. Cultural cohesion is the glue holding their system together. Their governments are pragmatic, not ideological. When socialist policies failed, they reformed and embraced the market. They cut corporate taxes, introduced school choice, and focused on what works. Their economies are globally competitive. Think IKEA, Volvo, Lego. These companies weren't created by government but by entrepreneurs. The capitalist engine funds the welfare state. Without it, the system would collapse. The Nordic model is built on trust, cohesion, and a strong market economy. It's not magic, it's a unique mix of history, culture, and capitalism. That's why it works there. Now let's look at the US. We're the opposite of the Nordics. Huge, diverse, and individualistic. Our population is over 330 million, not 6 million. We're a nation of immigrants with vast cultural and political differences. High trust, high consensus systems don't translate here. Social trust is low, skepticism of government is high. Americans resist high taxes and centralized power. It's in our DNA. Our economy thrives on risk-taking and innovation, not stability. The Nordic model's high taxes and labor protections would stifle our dynamism. Our government is already a bureaucratic maze. Adding a Nordic-style welfare state would create inefficiency and waste. What works in small cohesive countries becomes unmanageable at our scale. Bigger government here means more corruption and less accountability. Importing the Nordic model would crush our economy and freedom. The US needs its own solutions, not a copy-paste from Scandinavia. The Nordic model just doesn't fit America. American socialists don't want the real Nordic model. They cherry-pick the welfare and ignore the free markets. Proposals like city-owned grocery stores are Soviet-style throwbacks, not Nordic. Government-run businesses mean poor service and inefficiency. Radical ideas like abolishing prisons aren't Nordic either. Nordic countries have prisons, they just focus on rehabilitation. Utopian fantasies won't work in America's reality. These policies expand state control and ignore the market reforms that saved the Nordics. Sweden and Denmark moved away from heavy state intervention because it failed. American progressives want to repeat those mistakes. When politicians say be like Denmark, ask if they mean more economic freedom and personal responsibility. That's never what they mean. The Nordic model is unique to its culture and history. America's strength is liberty, individualism, and healthy skepticism of government. Let's stick to what works for us. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and share.